such a beautiful sense of his presence in the room, his governing peace coming here. And we just loved having our Rising Generations service last week. Wasn't that just a beautiful time together, gathering as families, our kids leading worship, hearing how God is moving in families across our community. And honestly, for me, it was like just a personal highlight seeing my daughter up there singing, giving it her everything. But I'm going to be honest with you, she's had about 4 or 5 performances this week, just this week, across school and dance and church. She's now demanding to be paid for her performances. Honestly, it's a joy to see her up there, but it's getting a little tiring. I'm ready for Christmas to slow down a little bit more. Anyone else with me? Ready to slow down a little bit this Christmas? And can't wait to slow down. But one area where you haven't been slowing down is stepping in to the story of compassion, stepping further on the way of compassion. Church, you continue to give, you continue to reach, you continue to step in more and more, making compassion personal. And Matt, who is part of our community, I don't know if Matt is here today, but he's a gym instructor in Buena Park. And just a few weeks ago, he put a toy drive together with his gym, and this is the photo of all the toys that they got from that time. They held their Christmas party that day, and what happened was that all the gym members and the staff of it came so that we could bless families that were coming to our pantry. Grandparents, parents who weren't able to afford gifts for their own kids. We were able to distribute it this week at our pantry, and they were able to pick gifts that they wanted so that on Christmas Day they're able to bless their families. And what I love is that there was so much, we were able to take some to Canyon Apartments this week, an area that we just blessed, and Devin and some of the team went there to one of our houses, a kid called Julian who comes on a Wednesday evening to our youth nights, and he's got 3 other younger siblings, and Devin and the team picked some toys and went to the home, and the mum said, I am so thankful for this because we've had such a tough year. Christmas was going to be smaller this year, but the gifts that you brought were exactly what our kids were looking for. Exactly what they were wanting. Who would have thought somebody going to a gym in Buena Park would pick exactly what a family would want in Canyon Apartments? It's the way of compassion, and we're going to be delivering some presents tonight as well at Brookhurst. Cannot wait for that. But it's 4 more sleeps until Christmas morning. I don't know if that fills you with joy or that fills you with anxiety. I'm not sure the feeling that emerges in you in this moment. And most years around here at Dwelling Place, we have our annual Christmas quiz just to see how ready we are for that big day, just seeing if we are prepared for Thursday that is coming and is coming quick. So if I'm going to read a number of statements, and all I need for you to do is just raise your hand or give us a cheer if you resonate with this statement or you agree with this statement or where this is where you're currently at in your Christmas planning. So here's the first one. And remember, no judgment and shame. We're in church here. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Like that? It's good. I purchased every gift that I needed to get in the Black Friday sales. Linda at the back, 2 of you. I have completely finished purchasing all of my Christmas gifts. Okay, not bad, guys, not bad. I am not done purchasing my Christmas gifts, and I'll be escorted out of Target kicking and screaming on Christmas Eve. What about this one? I have a dysfunctional member of the family who drives everyone crazy on Christmas Day. Okay, guys, some of you looked at one another there. And the final statement, I am that dysfunctional member of the family. Oh, love it, guys. Cannot wait for this week. And I don't know what emotions stir in your heart at this time of year. There's something with Christmas approaching, with the end of the year coming. I find it is a funny way of revealing what is really going on inside of us. The season seems to magnify what is already there. Yeah, joy gets louder, but also grief can get sharper. Pressure can get heavier. Expectations get higher. And the message of Christmas is the message of peace. But that can seem so far off in this season. The angels announced it that first Christmas. Luke 2, verse 14, glory to God in the highest heaven and on earth, peace to those on whom his favor rests. I was in worship, and I don't know who this gentleman is sitting beside Marlon. He's looking down, he's got glasses on. There he is. I just feel like actually as you step into 2026, the favor of the Father is going to be upon you at a whole new level. I was thinking about this verse, and as I looked around the room, just seeing favor upon you, favor in your workplace, favor in your family, favor in your relationships, favor in your resource. I think the Lord has looked around and he says, favor upon you, son. Favor upon you, son. Favor with God and favor with man. But that was what the angels announced all those years ago. Peace on earth. But I don't know about you. 2,000 years later, it can sometimes feel far away, can't it? Okay, one of us. I'm just going to preach to you today, Jackie. Just you and I today. Just you and I. We talk about peace. We sing about it. We decorate for it. We wrap it. We hang it on the walls. But the truth is, not many of us are experiencing peace in this season. We're experiencing pressure. We've got to get there. We've got to do that. We've got to clean that. We've got to cook that. We've got to keep everyone happy. We've got to keep the mother-in-law out of the kitchen. We've got to keep Bobby away from the gin. We know what happened last year. We've got to keep this cousin away from this cousin. Some of you are laughing because it's so true. And that's us just talking about this season. Never mind what has happened the rest of the year. And if Christmas is anything, even that first Christmas, it was a collision. Heaven meeting earth. Glory stepping in to broken humanity. And in that collision, peace arrived. God drawing near to our pain. God drawing near to our stress. God stepping into our story. God drawing near to our wounds, bringing his peace to our mind, bringing his peace to our relationships, bringing peace to our bodies. Not us escaping the chaos, but Jesus, the Prince of Peace, meeting us right there. Because when Scripture calls Jesus the Prince of Peace, it's not a sentimental title. It's not a warm, fuzzy label. It's not a hallmark slogan. It's saying he came to rule. He came to rule. And that's when the tension begins, because I think we miss peace so often in our lives because it doesn't come in the form we expect. Just like that first Christmas. So much of the time we've romanticized the nativity, haven't we? I think a picture is going to come on the screen. We picture a quiet night, soft lighting, a gentle moment, the animals standing at attention, looking at Jesus, Joseph pretending that he's an expert in labor and delivery. What does the song say? All is calm, all is bright. I'm not sure. I love that song, but I'm not sure about that night, because when you read about the Christmas story, it is filled with disruption. It is filled with tension. It is filled with conflict. There's vulnerability. There is fear. It is not peaceful to me, yet peace arrived. Peace arrived. We look at this scene here and we forget about the teenage girl. Yeah, she's carrying a miracle. She's given birth to a miracle, but we forget about the stigma. Luke 1 tells us the angel Gabriel appears to Mary, and she will conceive and she will give birth to a son, and his name will be called Jesus. And Luke says Mary was greatly troubled at his words. The first response to the arrival of peace was not, peace. She was troubled. she was confused. She had questions. Luke 1:34, how will this be? We look at this scene and we forget about the young man trying to do the right thing, trying to wrap his head around what is going on, still trying to get his head around the child's conception and wondering how in the future he's going to answer the question, are you the boy's father? Are you the boy's father? Matthew 1 tells us that Joseph learns that Mary is pregnant and he's wrestling with what to do. And the text says that he is faithful, yet he's caught in a tension of trying to do what is right without destroying her. And an angel appears to Joseph in a dream and says, do not be afraid, Mary. Or do not be afraid. Take Mary home as your wife. Notice again, as the Prince of Peace is arriving, the Prince of Peace is in the womb. Fear is present. Fear is real. Again, if we put the scene back up, Josh, there, we forget about the long journey. A full town, no room. The Christmas story is filled with systems, it's filled with travel, it's filled with disruption, it's filled with pressure. There's politics there. Mary and Joseph go to Bethlehem. She is exhausted. She's ready to give birth. And as every woman who's ready to give birth, she longs to hear these words, there is no room available for you here. There's no room available for you here. No comfort, no stability, no welcome. Remember, this is the Savior of the world that has been promised and prophesied for years. You think someone would have booked an Airbnb in advance, but it is not the case here in Bethlehem. No Kaiser midwife. A non-medicated birth, a non-sterile environment. The Prince of Peace is wrapped in cloths and laid in a manger, a feeding trough. And if you want a picture of how peace arrives, it doesn't arrive as convenience. So we dig deeper into the Christmas story. It's not as peaceful as you would think. It's not as peaceful as this painting would lead us to imagine. But peace arrived. Peace did not wait for fear to leave, but it entered the fear. And what I've come to discover this year, friends, is that true peace doesn't come in the form that we expect. It doesn't always come in the season that we think. And I think peace has been knocking at our door all year long. But because it didn't come in the form that we expected it, we didn't always let him in. If I were to ask you this morning, what steals your peace? I don't want answers because I don't want an argument to happen with the person beside you. If I was to ask you today, what steals your peace? What is your greatest source of stress right now? I reckon it would fall into one of these 4 or 5 categories. Firstly, it would be people. Sometimes your stress has a name. Sometimes your stress is sitting across from you at Christmas dinner. Sometimes your stress is that conversation in your head that you keep replaying. Sometimes your stress is that person that is keeping on calling you. Sometimes that stress is the relationship you can't fix. They just don't understand us. If only they would change. If only they would apologize. If only they would sort themselves out. But I don't know about you, but I've come to realize that people are terrible saviors. Secondly, can be a place we think if we can just get somewhere else, peace will come. If I can just get away, if I can just change environments, if I could just leave this job and get a new one, if I can just move out of California. You know, you can change location, but you keep your anxiety. You can get a new job, but you're still the one filling that position. Peace isn't geographical. Thirdly, it might be pace. Sometimes it's the pace of life. We ask each other, how are you doing? And it's like, I'm tired. I'm busy. Busy becomes normal, and busy becomes your identity, and busy ultimately becomes bondage. Because pace alone doesn't explain your stress or your lack of peace. Because what's really driving us a lot of the time, it isn't speed. Fourthly, it could be a problem. We think peace will come when this problem is solved, when this solution comes, when the diagnosis changes, when the conflict resolves, when the numbers improve, when I get the job offer coming through. But life will always have another problem. And if peace is on the other side of another solution, we'll never have it. And then fifthly, pressure. We think peace will come when pressure eases, when the workload lightens, when the kids get older, when Christmas is over, when the calendar clears, when the season passes, when the debt is cleared. But pressure always has a way of resurfacing. And the reason I share that with you today, friends, is whatever you identify as the source of stress in your life determines where you'll seek your peace. Because if you say people are my stress, you'll seek peace in people changing. If you say places are my stress, you'll seek peace in escaping. If you say pace is my stress, you'll seek peace in slowing down. If you say problems are my stress, you'll seek peace in solving. If you say pressure is my stress, you'll seek peace in control. But the Christmas story challenges all of that because he doesn't bring peace the way that we expect. If you have a Bible, let's turn to Isaiah 9, verses 6 and 7. I hope to have peace from 6, 7 in the future also. Josiah, my little one, he's 3 years old. He sometimes goes to sleep, he delays it, and some of the time he shouts us from the living room and he's screaming, and I think something has happened, and he's just standing on his bed and he's like, Daddy, 6, 7. And I'm like, son, you're far too young for that. Far too young for that. Isaiah 9, verses 6 to 7. For to us a child is born. To us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And of the greatness of his government and peace, there will be no end. Notice what Isaiah connects peace to. Peace is not a feeling we manufacture. It's not a condition that we achieve. It's not a destination that we arrive at. Peace is a person, and his name is Jesus. And Isaiah connects peace to government because peace is about who is in charge. Notice the name that Isaiah called him. Not the prince of convenience, not the prince of comfort, not the prince of ease, not the prince of my preferences. He's the prince of peace, which means the peace that he brings is not always maybe the peace that we would choose, but it's deeper, it's stronger, it's more resilient, it's eternal. And his peace doesn't always remove troubles from our life, but it's a peace that rules within it. You see, this child that was born to us, this child doesn't just feel peaceful. He carries government. He carries rule. He carries a peace that increases and it doesn't end. His peace is not fragile. His peace is not temporary. His peace is not seasonal. You see, there's a kind of peace that visits, and there's a kind of peace that governs. Visiting peace brings relief, but governing peace brings strength. Visiting peace depends on circumstances, but governing peace depends on Christ. And Jesus didn't come to give us a peace that drops in occasionally. He came to establish peace that reigns continually. You see, there's a governing peace that is available that restores minds today. There's a governing peace that restores relationships today. There's a governing peace that breaks addictions today. There's a governing peace that breaks generational curses today. There's a governing peace that is available that reconciles man to God. There's a governing peace today that destroys every single work of the enemy. There's a governing peace today that breaks strongholds in your mind. And for some of you today, you need to know that it is possible for your mind to be governed by Christ. Romans 8, you thought you guys were losing it, but I have hope and I have a message for you today that is governing peace is here. And it's a peace that restores. It's a peace that refreshes. It's a peace that renews. It's a peace that realigns. It's a peace that resets. It's a peace that reframes. It's a peace that revives. A governing peace. And Isaiah says this peace, its increase will have no end. His increase will have no end. And this is not a peace that we achieve. It's a peace that we receive. Not a destination that we arrive at, but in a relationship that we abide in. Friends, I believe this Christmas with all my heart that the Prince of Peace is knocking at your door. Not just so that you would have the absence of troubles, but you would have the presence of a person and you would know him as the Prince of Peace. Jesus says it plainly in John 14. He knows the cross is coming. The Prince of Peace knows that betrayal is coming. He knows that his disciples are about to be shaken. And right there in that moment, he says in John 14, verse 27, peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give you as the world gives. Worldly peace, it is fragile, but kingdom peace, it is unshakable. And Jesus is honest with his disciples in this moment. Pressure will come. This is me paraphrasing. Pressure will come. People will annoy you. Places will be hard. The pace will change. Problems will come. Storms are on their way. But this governing peace isn't canceled by any of that. This peace is anchored in his presence because the world's peace depends on circumstances. The world's peace depends on everything working out. The world's peace depends on control. But Jesus says, my peace is different. My peace is different. And it's not one day I'm going to get peace. It's today I see and I know and I am with the Prince of Peace. Can I be honest with you, church, this morning? Thank you, Van. Thank you. For so long in my life, I've been trying to arrive at peace. I've been trying to change things in my life so that I'd have a more restful or a more peaceful life. And it all came to a bit of a head for me at the end of last year. I lost my peace. I don't mean like I had a rough week. It wasn't like a hard couple of days. It was more than just a tough season. I mean, my body started saying things that my mouth didn't want to admit. I was waking up and I didn't feel right. I had never felt this way before. I kind of pride myself in being a high capacity kind of guy. But I woke up in the morning and I just wasn't functioning the way that I normally do. I was troubled. I was anxious. I had chest pains. And I couldn't just put my finger on exactly what it was. And if I'm honest, in that season as well, probably leading up to that, I was probably lying to myself too, of saying, hey, I can get through one more week. I can get through one more month. Just when this season passes, when the pace changes. Just maybe one more email, just one more meeting, one more thing, one more. And I was trying to make peace happen. And what I discovered in that season and what I've discovered all of this year is in this moment, what has happened is that I'm no longer holding on to peace, but the Prince of Peace is holding on to me. The Prince of Peace is holding on to me. I realized how much I've relied on human strategy, human strength, human control, trying to make my way into peace. But it's not something I achieve, it's something that I receive. And in one of my darkest moments, in the place where I felt incredibly weak, in that place where I just couldn't push through anymore, Jesus met me as the Prince of Peace. Not as an idea, not as a sermon theme, not as a Christmas card line, but as a person. And that's my prayer for you today. Because I can't do this for you. I can't give you the peace that only He gives. I can't give you 10 steps to peace, because His peace is different. This governing peace is not from this world. And little did I expect that I would encounter and experience and live in His peace in one of my greatest storms. But the truth is, guys, I should have known, because this is when Jesus introduces us to peace. We think about it in Scripture. We think about it in Mark 4. If you have a Bible, let's turn there. Mark 4, verse 35. His peace doesn't come when it's all calm and all bright. Mark 4:35 says this: "That day when evening came, He said to His disciples, 'Let us go over to the other side.'" Remember, Jesus is initiating the crossing, and some of you need to hear this today. Some storms are as a result of disobedience, but some storms come because you are obedient. Keep going, my friends. Keep going, my friends. May governing peace direct you. May governing peace instruct you. Keep on going. They set out, and then a furious squall came up, and the waves broke over the boat so that it was nearly swamped. This was not a drizzle. This was not inconvenience. This was a storm that was threatening to sink them, and they were going to lose everything. And where do we find the Prince of Peace? Jesus was in the stern, sleeping on a cushion. The disciples are panicking. The boat is filling. The waves are crashing. But Jesus is asleep, and they wake him and they say, "Teacher, don't you care if we drown?" It's a heart question, isn't it? Jesus, are you paying attention? Are you abandoning me in this moment? Jesus, can you not see what is happening? And Jesus gets up, and something only the Creator can do. He rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Quiet, be still." Then the wind died down, and it was completely calm. It carries a sense of authority. And Jesus could have went back to sleep in that moment, but He turns to His disciples and He says, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" And they're terrified, and they ask, "Who is this? Even the wind and the waves obey Him." They got to meet the Prince of Peace in that moment, the one who reveals His authority in the storm, not the absence of waves, but the presence of Jesus. And friends, this is no longer just a slogan for me. This is what I've learned to live this year. That if my peace depends on the one who rules the storm being with me, then I can have peace even when the boat is rocking. Even when the boat is rocking. Peace is the rule of Jesus in the middle of what seems like reality. You see, for so long, many of us have been praying, "God, fix everything." That's what we've been looking for in peace. And sometimes God does. But sometimes God does, in His mercy, deliver us from trouble. But often God meets us in the midst of it. He doesn't always remove the valley. He walks us through it. Psalm 23:4, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Not I will fear no evil because the valley is gone, but I will fear no evil because you are with me. That is abiding peace. That is governing peace. And that peace is rare to find on this earth. I meet ambitious people, I meet anxious people. I meet driven people, I meet desperate people. I meet gifted people, I meet exhausted people. I meet loud people, and I meet lonely people. but I don't meet many peace-filled people. I don't meet many people of peace. And it's not because peace is impossible, but it's because peace requires surrender. Peace requires surrender. Peace requires that someone else sits on the throne. And the world has been training to live a frantic, reactive, outraged, suspicious, hurried, always scanning, always striving, always bracing. But the Prince of Peace offers us something different this Christmas. Not avoidance, not denial, but peace. And he doesn't give you peace just for your own comfort, but he wants us to be ones who carry peace into every circumstance. I really believe, friends, that in this coming year, God is releasing peace to you, not just for your own comfort, but for the assignment to which he has called you. Not just for your own comfort, but the assignment to which he has called you. And I believe that he's going to continually raise from this place a people of peace who enter their field of assignment this coming year. And peace is going to mark us. But it is a governing peace. It is something different. And it's not people hiding from the storm. It's not people pretending that everything is real. It's not telling people just be positive, keep your head up. But it's a peace that moves towards pain and won't be swallowed by it. In the last couple of weeks, some of our team were doing home deliveries in West Anaheim, and they stopped by a new home. And the door opened, and a grandma appeared, and she was standing there. She was timid. She was nervous. She was cautious. And our team offered groceries, and she received them, and they began to chat. She shared that she doesn't like leaving the house at all. She doesn't even like stepping out into her porch. And they asked if there was anything that they could pray for, and she said no, and started to close the door. And one of her team, without thinking, said, "What about your son?" And the door begins to open again, and she says, "What about my son?" And the team said, "Is there anything we can pray for your son?" And she began to share that her son was going through some legal trouble. Her heart was breaking. She was looking after her grandson that didn't understand why her dad was in jail. And right there in the porch, our team began to share the gospel, began to share about this peace that comes at Christmas, and they ministered to her. And the lady felt her heart and mind being cleansed as they prayed. And the team came back the following week, and the lady was excited to see them. She came out to her porch and she talked more, she shared more. She's becoming increasingly open to prayer, open to connection, open to God. Yes, her circumstances didn't instantly change in that moment, but the Prince of Peace met her on the porch. The Prince of Peace met her on the porch, and it's only going to increase. Isaiah tells us, of the increase of his government and peace, there will be no end. There's a peace coming, friends, that doesn't just arrive and it is here. It increases. And it increases under his government, which means peace grows where Jesus is allowed to rule. So this Christmas, friends, maybe the invitation isn't, "God, give me peace." It's, "Jesus, come and rule. Jesus, come and govern. Govern my thoughts. Govern my pace. Govern my fear. Govern my expectations. Govern my life." Because where his government rests, his peace will grow. And that peace this Christmas, friends, will not just transform you, but it'll transform every space that you walk into. If we're able, why don't we stand to your feet? His governing peace is here today. And if you know you need that governing peace, why don't you just put your hands in a posture to receive? For to us a child is born. To us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And of the greatness of his government and peace, there will be no end. As I prayed for you this weekend, I saw the Prince of Peace moving across the room, walking across the room. And what I saw was him replacing some garments, some old clothing that you had, for where it's been shame, for where it's been striving. He was giving you new garments today. So we're going to let him do that today. Place new garments on his people. I also saw him walking around the room and taking off certain crowns that were upon you. And it's interesting because we had that this morning in the prayer meeting. It was crowns of thorns that was on you, and Jesus was replacing it for where you have been tormented in your mind, for where you've been tormented in your head. And he's given you a new crown today, beauty for ashes. Receive it today. There's a governing peace coming upon you. And it's not the peace that the world gives. It's not just for a moment. It's a different way of thinking. It's a different way of living. It's a different way of walking. And it's not just supposed to last this Christmas season. It's supposed to be with you all the days of your life, even in the storms, even in the battles, even in the challenges. I know for some of you in the room today, this has been one of the toughest years of your life. Again, maybe it was the diagnosis or a death in the family, a loss of a job. But I just find it's in those moments, in the storm, where he reveals himself as the Prince of Peace, and you get to walk with him for the rest of your days. It's perspective changing. It's him reframing things. It's him knowing it's you knowing who's sitting on the throne. There he is, sitting on the throne. The one who sleeps in the storm. Not because he's absent, but because he knows who rules over it. May you know the Prince of Peace who's seated on the throne. May you come and see what life is like here. Again, I know it's not your typical Christmas message, this, but I do feel in this Christmas season that the Lord wants to take you to his throne. He wants you to see up there. He wants to bring revelation. He wants to reframe some of your thinking. He wants to just reshape some of your steps. But it doesn't come through your strategy. It comes from listening to the one who is on the throne. The one who removes every distraction. The one who removes every discouragement. The one who dismantles every power of the enemy. The governing peace is coming upon us, friends. Governing peace is coming upon us. And you may not feel it. It may not look like it, but governing peace is coming. And it comes as we continually fix our eyes upon the Prince of Peace. As we fix our hearts upon the Prince of Peace, as we fix our minds upon the Prince of Peace. So before we continue to worship, maybe as I mentioned earlier, it's about who's sitting on the throne. Maybe you just know in your heart you need to give up control in a certain area. You need to give up striving in a certain area. Just hand it to him today, friends. Hand it to him today, friends. Surrender it all. Surrender it all. For those of us in the room that feel that you're at the end of yourself, hey, have hope today. The Prince of Peace has come. The Prince of Peace has come. Receive. Receive him. Receive him. Together, oh come, let us adore him. Come to adore him, the one seated on the throne. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Sing, oh come again. The Lord, oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Christ. For he alone is worthy. 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 Christ. For he alone. For he alone. For he give him all the glory. We give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. Christ the Lord. Let's finish again with, oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore him. Oh come, let us adore for a couple of moments more, why don't we just lift up our song to him? Tell him he's worthy. Tell him he's worthy today. As we step into this Christmas season, the one who was sent for us, tell him he's worthy today.
For you alone, for you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. Christ the Lord. Sing it again. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. Christ the Lord. For you alone. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. Christ the Lord. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. For you alone are worthy. Christ the Lord. And we'll give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. Christ the Lord. Sing it again. We give. And we give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. We give you all the glory. Christ the Lord. And we give you all the glory. We give you all give you all the glory. Christ
Yes, Lord, as we step into this Christmas season, may we know the Prince of Peace. May we know and walk with governing peace. May it direct our steps. May it direct our thinking. Lord, I pray you would surprise us this Christmas with the gift of governing peace. So friends, may the blessing of the Lord fall upon you in this season. May you have dreams with him. May you have encounters with him. Would wonder awaken in you again. Would hope be awake. Life come again. Would he resurrect everything that needs to be resurrected in this season? I know that's the Easter story, but it's the Christmas story too. Let life come. Let life come as you step in and with his peace.